Hello there, everyone. This is Milk Knight here. I'm doing a I suppose you could say, a rant slash review criticism video, I guess you could say, on the service of BritBox. Now, the thing is, I recently got BritBox installed on a firestick. It was my mum's birthday recently. I ended up getting her a firestick, and I told her about the service of BritBox. Now, the thing is, I was told by most people that I speak to online, usually family members, that it's a really decent service. Now the thing is, my mother has a sight impairment. She is completely blind. She cannot see a single thing. And we was under the impression that BritBox would at least have decent programming in the ways of audio description. Because the way it works, if you're a blind person and you're watching TV, it's going to be hard to follow what's going on on screen essentially, like characters doing certain actions or small little subtle things that you usually take for granted because you can see. With audio description, you need a person who's narrating the story essentially to have things make sense, because otherwise it is just characters talking to each other with dialogue, and there's no obvious, or should I say, no level of understanding for someone who cannot see essentially. I mean, you can hear the loud noises, and you can hear like, let's say for example, we're watching a murder mystery or something. Now, I'd be able to see, somebody struggling for their life as they get killed off, because I can see it happening on screen. But because my mother cannot see, she'd just hear a bunch of random noise, and she wouldn't really know what to make of it until the next line of dialogue, and then somebody mentions that so-and-so was murdered tragically or whatever in the show. That's just an example that I could think of. But with audio description, it'll tell you what's going on and what's going down. Therefore, the noises make sense when something happens. But this is... The thing is, this service has been, launched since, I believe... It says here that it was in 2017. We won't count it because it's UK that it was launched. It was launched in 2019. I'm going to play a video clip in a moment or so, and what it will do, it'll showcase everything that is audio description based on the service. Now, the bigger issue that I have with this, by the way, is on the Fire Stick itself, when I used the app that was installed, it wouldn't let me look for audio described titles through their main app. There's legitimately no way to look for audio described titles through their main app. And this is what blew my mind. My sister uses the account as well, and she uses the service on her mobile phone. She then contacted me saying that the audio describe tab is on the mobile build. Now, you could say that I'm complaining for the sake of complaining's sake, but you'd think that they would actually have that option or that tab actually selectable on the main app that's plugged onto the TV through the Fire Stick, as opposed to the mobile. Now the thing is, my mum doesn't really use a modern mobile phone, essentially because of touchscreen, and you know, it's not easy to work. But this is the thing that annoyed me so much. Like, answer me this: anyone who works at BritBox, or even if, I mean, I highly doubt this video will ever get seen, but could you please explain to me why the audio described feature is mainly on mobile, or at least it's been categorized as a section on mobile, but it's not been categorized as a section on the main app itself? Why is this? And the thing is, it's a paid-for subscription service. You're paying so much a month to get a good service out of this. Now the thing is, when I went onto the audio description tab, it showed a good bunch of TV shows, which is fine. You've got quite a lot of them. I mean, in the clip just now, you saw just a good bunch of them. But when you go over to films, you have all the Carry On films and The Man in the White Suit, which I believe is a pretty old film. That's it. There's nothing else. So let's say my mother wants to watch, you know, a modern film from recent years. Oh, there's no option. You don't get that luxury. I don't understand it. And the thing is, we're living in a world now, as it were, where things are a lot more accessible to people and are a lot more streamlined, or supposed to be streamlined for people. Yet the lack of audio description on movies is paltry. It's awful. And I just don't understand it. Why do you feel the need to exclude people like that? And I'm sure there's like people out there that have not just full-on blindness, but have sight impairment as well, that probably would have to use audio description in order to, you know, get the full picture of what they're watching, essentially. It baffles me. I mean, I don't know if this video is ever going to get seen, but I'm hoping that at least BritBox try and fix this issue and at least add more stuff onto the film section with audio description, because as of right now there's barely any incentive for someone who has sight impairment problems to be using the service, aside from the TV shows. And the problem is with content, eventually when you've seen enough of it, you kind of run out of it. You just think that there'd be more selection for the movies and films and stuff like that. It's strange. But if they don't add any more stuff in time, or they don't fix this feature in general, then I'm more than likely going to have to cancel the subscription and move to a different service. In fact, if there's anyone out there watching this, or you've come across this video, if you have any other services that you know of that have good audio description, could you please let me know in the comments, maybe? It would be nice. I mean, it just boggles my mind. Like I say, we live in the age of virtue signaling these days, where everyone wants clout for doing something nice for people and making things accessible. I mean, that's the thing. People want basically all the reward that comes with helping people, especially those that are less advantaged. But when it comes to actual services that tout about how much they love diversity and accessibility for people, and then you've got services like BritBox that do stuff like this, and they're just not very varied. It baffles me. It really annoys me. I don't know. I mean, this is pretty much me ranting at this point, really. But yeah, BritBox, please just do more to include people that are blind in your service. There's probably a good portion of your audience that would actually want audio description. Right, that's gonna be it for now. I'll catch you in the next rant video I decide to do. Also, I'll be forwarding this in the email to BritBox when I do send a complaint with a link to the video. Catch you laters.